Good morning. Welcome to 7 a.m. Tap In on Monday mornings. I'm jumping right in today. We live in a world right now, especially right now, where it is so easy to complain. Complain about everything, complain about anything. Whether it's like traffic, whether it's the weather, whether it's people who disagree with you or don't see eye to eye to you about something. I mean, inflation, look how things are going up. Just go to the grocery store, complain about how things are going up, or trying to get something done around the house. Inflation, right? We can complain about bad service. We go out, right? We complain about, how much the bill cost. The service wasn't even good. We can complain about our health. We can complain about our injuries. We complain about our bodies. We complain about our family, whether it's a coworker, boss, parents, kids, somebody else's kids, right? We have so many things going on around us in the world right now that we can complain and we can fall into that loop of complaining. So this week, I'm throwing out another no complaining challenge. So it is not an easy challenge. You have to catch yourself when you're complaining and you have to go, oh, you have to stop. And if you're one that is, if you complain a lot, you're going to need to stop and take a breath. So it's like, okay, well, what do I do when I find that I am, or I observe? This is what I want you to do, really, is observe when you're complaining. It's not always going to be easy to stop that, but if you can at least observe that you're complaining, then that is going to be the first step, okay? And then what we do is we shift into gratitude. Now, I know it's like, oh, okay, so I'm complaining about something and I'm just instantly supposed to shift into gratitude. I don't want you to shift into gratitude to bypass the complaint, but I want you to shift into gratitude so that you can appreciate that this complaint showed up for you. So we came here onto this earth school, so that we can learn about ourselves, so we can go within and learn what triggers us, how we can shift out of what triggers us. We came here to learn, we came here to evolve. And so the things that we complain about the most are the lessons that we are avoiding learning the most within ourselves. Sometimes that's a tough one to sit in. But that's what I'm going to ask you to do this week. When we complain, we are blaming. We're blaming something, a situation, a person. We're blaming. So whenever we blame, we fall into a victim mode, right? We're a victim of the circumstances. We're a victim of this, person's inability to see things our way. And when we go into that, blaming, victim, complaining mode, we're powerless. We're giving all of our power over to, an outer force that we have no control over. So there's no lesson to be learned there. We just stay stuck in this loop of complaining and blaming, and, we're powerless in this position. So what I'm asking you to do this week is shift into the mindset. So you got to shift your mindset. You got to open up your heart into every complaint is an opportunity to learn something about yourself. So this means we need to stop, right? So STOP, stop, take a few breaths, observe. So I'm asking you this week to observe your complaints. What is it that you're complaining about? Who are you complaining about? Then you proceed. So when you proceed, shift into gratitude. First and foremost, you shift into gratitude for this complaint showing up, this trigger, whatever it is, to teach you something about yourself. Okay, and then you can go into gratitude about other things. I mean, gratitude is the best way to open up your heart and open up your mind so that you're better able to go inward and learn the lesson. You're not going to learn anything if you're stuck in victim mode. You're not going to learn anything if you're stuck in that blaming cycle. And then once you shift into gratitude, once you notice, okay, I'm complaining, I'm triggered by something, whether it's a little thing or a big thing, you're triggered. Okay. Now you go into gratitude. Now you need to take a moment to feel. What is it that you're feeling? What is the emotion? Are you angry? Are you frustrated? Are you confused? Are you sad, disappointed? Are you lonely? Are you feeling hopeless? So are you resenting something or someone? So when we can understand, observe, first of all, that we're triggered here because we're complaining about something. And thank you, complain, for showing up here because there's something I get to learn today about this. And then sit with that. Notice what I'm feeling. What am I feeling? I'm feeling this, but our instant go-to is, well, I'm feeling this because you are, or they are, or this is happening. And once again, when we do that, we shift the power outwards. We think, well, we don't have any control over this. I'm feeling this because you. But we're feeling this because there is a need within us that is not being met. Okay, so I'm feeling this because this need for me is not being met. That's where our power lies. So I'm asking you this week to take responsibility. Take responsibility for your complaints, for your feelings, and that they're valid, of course, because there's a need that's not being met. And when we know that there's a need that's not being met, now we have the power to change and shift things. Maybe we have the power to change and shift what's happening within us, right? Let's go back a couple of weeks. Last week, right? I asked you to, choose love over anger, choose appreciation over complaining, right? Then we're standing more in our power to make these better choices in our life, to be more aware of what it is that we're needing, maybe from the people that we love or the people around us, or from, the workplace or the world. And we're better able to express what it is that we need when we understand that it's all about what's in here and within all of us. Okay? So our intention this week, it's always unfolding. Every week here has something else to do with the other, and it'll lead into more in the next weeks to come. But this week, depending on where you are, if you're going, yeah, I don't complain as much as I used to, or I'm starting to observe, when I do complain, that, it's got everything to do with me and nothing to do with everything out there, because I got to get through to why I'm being triggered. And this is my opportunity to learn about myself and to evolve. So it all depends on where you are. Maybe this week is strictly about today. I'm going to choose to observe my complaints. Okay? I'm no longer going to get drawn into the story of them. I'm just going to observe them without getting pulled into them. Maybe that's where, okay? Or maybe it is today I'm going to choose to appreciate any complaint that comes up for me for showing up, so that I can learn something about myself. Or maybe it is, I choose to observe what I'm feeling when I'm complaining about something, right? Maybe you've got this stop down pat. Now I know I can lean back and just stop and breathe. Okay? Or maybe it's today I'm going to take responsibility for what I'm feeling, for what I am observing, what's happening within me that's triggering this complaint. So there's all different spectrums of this. If anything, it just comes to that gratitude. Be willing to stop and take a breath and go, okay, I know I'm complaining. I'm going to be grateful, even though I'm not really sure and understand this, but I am. I'm going to draw into gratitude for this showing up for me, for something to learn. Okay, let's tap this in. Let's get this moving. Okay, so let's just start moving the body. Let's move the energy. Let's bounce. Okay, all of those feelings that get caught up within us, right? Whether it's resentment or we got anger stuck within us, or, we're just disappointed in ourselves or someone else or in the world. Just shake it loose. Just bounce and shake it loose. Okay, and then shake it out. Just go, okay, I don't want to hold on to these complaining and all the thoughts that come up with what I'm complaining about. I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to be resentful anymore. But as long as we blame somebody else or something else for why we're feeling the way that we're feeling, we're so powerless. So shake it out, march it out. Let go of that. I'm going to take responsibility for my own feelings, what I am feeling, without blaming anybody else. I'm going to empower myself. I'm going to empower myself. Let's just pick up those knees. Now we start to stand a little taller, get some good energy moving through the body. Yeah. Just touch into the opposite leg. Good. Okay, maybe you want to even bounce it up a bit. Rub your hands together. I've got my glasses on. Rub your hands together. Big breath. Exhale it out. Shake it out, and let's tap underneath our eyes. Tapping into the body. That's why we call it a tap in. Tap into these certain areas to bring in awareness, empowerment. I'm going to become aware of whenever I am complaining. I'm not going to get drawn into the story. I'm just going to observe that I'm complaining. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be curious. And then I'm going to be grateful. All right, you're showing up because there is something that I get to learn today. Let's change here. Collarbone. I like to cross my hands, but you don't have to. Whatever works for you. Right here underneath the collarbone point. Our K27 point gets our energy moving in the right direction. And what is our energy moving in the right direction? Being able to draw into gratitude when things that are triggering us are showing up big time. It's not an easy task to do because our go-to is judgment and blame as a society. And, oh yeah, there's lots to complain about out there. Breathing in. I'm going to take my power back. Let's go into the thymus. I'm going to tap into gratitude. Thank you for showing up. I'm going to tap into my feelings. What am I feeling? What is this thing triggered within me? And I'm feeling this because there is a need within me that is not being met. What would that need be? Go back to our 4 A's, right? Am I feeling appreciated? Am I getting attention? Am I feeling like I'm getting enough affection, acceptance, right? And are we giving those needs outward? Are we holding back acceptance? And that's why we're so triggered by somebody else in our life. Are we holding back, appreciation? Let's just tune in. Just don't even go that far. What am I feeling? Why is this triggering me? What am I feeling? I'm going to take responsibility this week for my feelings. Tap in underneath the rib cage. Okay, so it's a no complaining challenge, but observe. Am I asking you to stop complaining? That's going to be impossible. We are human beings, and complaining is a big part of what's going on in our life right now. We can get drawn into somebody else complaining and get drawn into their story very easily. I'm just asking you to stop. Observe. Take a few breaths. Proceed with some gratitude. Okay, this is showing up for me to learn some. And then just tune into your feelings. Just start there. Start at 1, 2, or 3. Whatever it is for you. Shake it out. Let's cross that over. This is a challenge. No complaining, or at least just observe what we're complaining about. Have an amazing week, because this can be life-changing if you decide that you are going to do just that. Shift into gratitude whenever you notice you're complaining. Namaste. Have an amazing week.